Hi, I'm Jennifer Richmond, and this is my persuasive speech. And these are my audience members: Angie Burnett,
Hi.
Joseph Van Hook,
What's up?
and Ryan Burnett. So my speech is on persuading you to that marijuana should be legalized for the states to regulate. And there are 4 justifiable reasons for this. Number 1 is there are health and safety reasons, there are social reasons, and there are financial reasons. I personally do not partake of marijuana. However, I have tried it in my younger years, so I do have some personal experience with it. Because of that, I'm often really perplexed as to why it's illegal, because I've also felt the effects of alcohol, and I can vouch for the fact that alcohol is far more dangerous. So, having said that, well, I don't condone it. I don't understand why it's illegal. And apparently I'm not alone. In a recent study, 52% of Americans agree that marijuana should be legalized. And it's not surprising that the youngest of the population, ages 18 to 32, support legalizing marijuana the most. However, baby boomers are not far behind at 50% approval rating. The current situation with marijuana being legalized is that currently 9 states allow for medical marijuana with prescriptions. Some other states are reducing criminal penalties for small possession offenses. And recently in November, Colorado and Washington approved small amounts for recreational use. Since the federal government is very unsure how to handle it, or they just don't want to dirty their hands with the subject, the states are going to have to take it upon themselves to determine how they would like to handle marijuana and become more marijuana friendly. Because the tides of public opinion are definitely changing about the use of marijuana. I do believe that marijuana will become legal within our lifetimes, and it's because of these 4 reasons, which I will talk about in a minute, that it should be legalized and regulated by the states. There are health and safety reasons, social reasons, and financial reasons. So the first reason has to do with health and safety. First of all, it's impossible to overdose on marijuana. There's never been a documented case of this happening. You just can't do it. They've actually tried it in studies and could not reach that effect, overdosing on marijuana. However, this is compared to 75,000 excessive drinkers who kill themselves every year through liver disease, car crashes, drowning, suicides, binge blackouts, alcohol poisoning, you name it. This is estimated by the Center for Disease Control. Marijuana also does generally not cause risk-taking behavior or foster violence like alcohol does. Quite frankly, I would rather see a bunch of college kids sitting around smoking a doobie than drinking a keg of beer, just because I know the effects are going to be different. They're not going to go get in their cars and want to race down the street or fight. They're going to eat up all the food in the house. They're going to giggle a lot, and they're going to go to sleep. The typical effects of marijuana include relaxed sensations, increased appetite and thirst, red eyes, and dry mouth. Marijuana also has no addictive chemicals. As compared to tobacco, 32% of tobacco users will become addicted. 15% of alcohol users will become addicted. In addition, marijuana does have some legitimate medicinal uses. It helps with appetite loss and pain for cancer patients. It creates a calming effect and reduces spasms and helps with seizure control. It also releases eye pressure for patients with glaucoma, and it can delay the growth of cancer cells. The second reason that marijuana should be legalized is that the social stigma is wearing off from old propaganda. So I purposely didn't start my speech with some startling fact or statistic, because I feel like this topic's been sensationalized enough, starting back with the Reefer Madness movies back in the 60s. So I'd really rather discuss this rationally. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that now too. There's been an 18% decline in Americans who feel that marijuana is morally wrong. People and politicians have had a difficult time coming out in support of marijuana because of the stereotypes and the stigma that's associated with it. Certainly it's not something that anybody wants to promote people do. It's not something that causes you to have better health or better intelligence or a better life, but it's also not as harmful as once was thought. Even conservatives like Fox's Glenn Beck and CNN's Jack Cafferty suggest taxation and regulation for financial and social purposes should be evaluated. Which leads me to the third reason that it should be legalized: financial reasons. The war on drugs has been a complete failure. Drug cartels continue to flourish. They've spent $20 to $25 billion. Our government has spent $20 to $25 billion each year for the last 40 years trying to fight this unwinnable war. It's been an incredible financial drain. Yet it's still easy to get, is still in high demand, and in fact the price on the street has even declined. 72% of Americans now believe that government efforts to ban marijuana are not worth the cost. Additional costs include prisons. There are a lot of people who are in prisons today because of offenses for small amounts of possession of marijuana. This can oftentimes ruin their lives because then they can't get a job when they get out of prison. They're exposed to more violence in prison and all kinds of bad things that may cause them to go downhill. 1 in 5 inmates serving, according to a New York Times article, are serving for a small amount of marijuana possession. Additionally, we could be earning enormous taxation revenue, and also jobs could be created if this were legalized. It's already a large cash crop in many states, of course, on an illegal basis. In fact, there's also a tourism industry sprouting up around this. In Denver, Matt Brown and James Walker have developed travel packages called My 420 Tours, which provides pot-friendly hotels, a tour of marijuana dispensaries and farms to show how it's grown, and other cannabis-related events. It should be treated similar to alcohol and tobacco, which are both legal and regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The state should be allowed to regulate how they want to enforce their rules about marijuana. Currently, dispensaries that are legal, they're already highly regulated and tightly controlled. Every plant is labeled and tagged from seed to sale, so they can trace it back to where it came from in case there are any issues. So in conclusion, I feel that because of these reasons, because of health and safety reasons, social reasons, and financial reasons, it's justifiable to legalize marijuana and have it regulated by the states. Although I don't condone it, as I said, it's not beneficial, it's not desirable, it's not something that you should do. It's just another social habit. It doesn't make sense for it to be illegal. It's not going to go away. And it definitely should be legal if tobacco and alcohol are going to be legal. So thank you for your time.